Uncharted 2 is the sequel to one of the finest games released this generation so far. Fortunately, this sequel manages to surpass the original in every way possible. Uncharted Drake's Fortune is still one of the best looking games ever made, and Among Thieves raises that bar even higher. This game is a technical and artistic masterpiece. Everything about it screams quality, from the attention to detail in the environment to the amount of polygons in each character model. Drake's Fortune had you run through jungles and tombs, but beyond that, it lacked environmental diversity. Not so in Among Thieves. You'll be globetrotting to museums, cities, ice caves, and more. Each level looks unique, and the animations on display as you run, jump, and shoot your way through them are simply fantastic. It's not bold to call Uncharted 2 the best looking game ever released, period. So Among Thieves is a visual powerhouse, but how does the audio complement the looks? Extremely well. The sound effects are all great, with bombastic explosions and blazing gunfire all around you. Each gun sounds appropriate for what it is, and the environmental ambiance is cleverly woven into the level design.
Now what do we do? We jump?
Many of the original voice actors from Drake's Fortune return for this sequel, and to great effect. Nolan North, for instance, provides the witty and likable lead role as Drake once again. All the voice actors sound believable, and you really get the impression that they enjoyed making this game.
Marco!
Really?
Come on!
No.
Marco!
The writers obviously know what they're doing, and the improvised dialogue by the voice actors really brings out the life in each character.
Yeah, I still don't speak that.
They put a lot of effort into their roles, and it shows greatly. Musically, Uncharted 2 is orchestrated beautifully, with a score on par with that of a Hollywood movie. Speaking of which, thinking of movies and games together probably brings up some horrifying images. House of the Dead and Alone in the Dark, for instance. However, playing Uncharted 2 will breathe new life into the idea of games and movies existing side by side.
Got to be kidding.
Come on, could be worse, right? Okay, that's worse.
Among Thieves is basically a playable summer blockbuster with an action, revenge, and betrayal plot woven into the explosive gameplay. Sure, it may lack originality, but the plot offers plenty of excitement and adventure. What more could you ask for in an action-adventure game? It may come off as a bit cliche, but the story is fun to follow, and it keeps the pace moving nicely. The gameplay elements consist of shooting, platforming, and puzzle solving, all of which are done exceptionally well. The combat this time around has a bit more open-endedness to it. While it was possible to sneak up on an enemy in Drake's Fortune, it's now a choice given to the player in many scenarios. If you're careful enough, it's possible to kill everyone in an area quietly, avoiding shootouts altogether.
That's right.
This, as well as other combat tweaks, such as the simplified grenade throwing mechanic, make for a much more refined experience than last time around. As for the platforming, it too has been a bit more refined, albeit less obvious than the combat improvements. More mobility while scaling walls is one such addition, and the cover system is now less constrained. The final element is the puzzle solving. In Among Thieves, you'll find less puzzles than in the original, however they will be longer and more intricate than before. It's a nice break from the constant shootouts, and it's definitely something I'd like to see more of in the inevitable third game. While there's nothing here we haven't played before, we haven't played them all together and also polished. What's more is that the new online component plays just like the single player, meaning lots of scaling walls and shooting from lampposts over the internet. Uncharted 2 is an amazing game, simple as that. The single player is fantastic, and it will give you up to 12 hours of gameplay, clocking in at much longer than the original game. The treasures also return for all you explorers and trophy hunters, as well as plenty of unlockables to earn. That, on top of a great online feature, makes Among Thieves a must-own for PlayStation 3 owners, and certainly a contender for Game of the Year.
Hell yeah!